What up, guys? It's me, Mecha Otaku Gamer here, and I want to talk about one of my favorite 3D platformers of all time, and how I believe that Ape Escape 3 here is considered peak platforming on the PlayStation 2. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some really great 3D platformers that may, for you guys, be better than Ape Escape 3, but for me, this is the one platformer on the system, on my favorite system of all time, that I keep coming back time and time again, and I want to share with you guys why. Now, I've already done a mini game review on Ape Escape 3, and today, this is not going to be considered a game review. This is just me sharing my opinions on Ape Escape as a whole, like the entire series, and comparing it with other great platformers and some other games on the PS2. But primarily focusing on Ape Escape 3, it was the last game that we got here in America for the mainline series. Japan got a whole bunch of other great Ape Escape games that, honestly, I'm a bit jealous about. I kind of wish we could get more Ape Escape, and I'll be talking about that as well here in this video, like what I would love to see from a potential revival of the series. Now, I have a whole bunch of Ape Escape games. I have, right here, I have some PSP games, Ape Escape Racing, Ape Escape Academy. I also have Ape Quest. I got the original Ape Escape as well. So, I'm a huge fan of Ape Escape. This series I grew up on, and I fell in love with Ape Escape as well. I'll also be talking a little bit about my history with Ape Escape in this video. So, hope you guys will enjoy me sharing another story of one of my favorite video game franchises of all time, and how I personally believe it is peak platforming. And with that, you can let me know by smashing that like button, subscribing, ringing the notification bell, so you guys can stay notified for when I upload new videos. And you can just leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. And with that, let's dive into Ape Escape. Primarily Ape Escape 3. So before I dive into Ape Escape 3, I just want to share with you guys a little brief history of the series. My history with the Ape Escape series started with the very first one on the PS1, which I obtained from a local rental video store. They were getting rid of their PS1 games, and the one that I wanted to get when I was there was the original Ape Escape. And I had a lot of fun with it. It was one of the very first games that required the use of the DualShock dual analog style controller. And it has a very unique control scheme where you have the gadgets that you use to capture the monkeys and explore the levels that are attached to the different face buttons, and you use the left analog stick to control the main character Spike, and then whatever gadget that you have selected, you can use that gadget with the right analog stick, and then you jump with the R2 button, and then you can control the camera, I think, with the R1 or the L1 button. But it was a really unique 3D platformer, and I loved playing it. I've played this game so many times, probably too many times to count, and I like the whole aesthetic of going back in time. Started with the era of the dinosaurs, and then going to the medieval era after exploring kind of like an Ice Age era, and then you go into the present day, and then the final level being a giant amusement park turned into a space fortress. Man, I just really loved the concept behind Ape Escape, capturing monkeys, a certain amount of monkeys at the beginning of each level. You like get told how many monkeys you need to capture in order to move on, and then in order to like completely beat the entire game, you gotta 100% it. Like, my mind was like blown as a kid, and I still have a lot of fun with the Ape Escape series to this day. I absolutely love this series. Now, the first one, as great as it is, it's still a really fun game. It may or may not hold up to this day. For me, I still have a lot of fun, even though it's not like the best game on the PS1, but it's definitely like in my personal top 10. And I just really want to thank I think it was my dad that bought it for me. Like, I'd be surprised if I were to go back through my own memories and realize how many games that my dad bought that I ended up falling in love with. Like, I really gotta thank him for getting me into these video games. Without him, I don't know if I would have ever really gotten into games like Rayman or the Ape Escape series. But now I just want to move on to Ape Escape 3, which is the primary focus of this video here. Ape Escape 3, now when I got my PlayStation 2 back in 2006, the very next day I got my first ever copy of Ape Escape 3, which was a game that I just could not shut up about and could not stop drooling over. Whenever I was on the computer, I was like watching trailers and gameplay of Ape Escape 3, and oh my word, it is one of my favorite games of all time. And it was kind of a late era PS2 title, so the graphics are definitely going to be some of the best. And excuse me, even like over 20 years later, this game still holds up. It has kind of a cel-shaded look to it, like very subtle cel-shaded look to it. The graphics just look absolutely amazing, and I wonder what a full, like, actual official HD remaster of this game would look like on like PS5. And I have a high feeling that it could happen, since it is confirmed that the Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater remake will have the Ape Escape content, so that tells me that Sony and Konami are okay with having that Ape Escape crossover still continue to be a thing. Now, with Ape Escape 3, the gameplay is pretty much all the same. It's a different story. It's now more TV and movie based, with the levels kind of taking off of different themes from TV shows and different movies. You have a snowy villa, like very calm, cool, cozy vibes. You explore a giant mountain that leads to these ruins up in the sky. You have an airplane, an entire like airplane fleet that you explore and platform. You have a hot spring level. You have a TV studio. You have a kind of like a toy land, like a level made up of different toy like areas. You can use like giant all these different vehicles, from like tanks to a race car, a mech, as well as a rowboat. And you're using the same kind of gadgets from the first game, minus the secret gadget that you get after beating the game for the first time, and then having to go back and collect all the remaining monkeys. And instead, you have a new addition to the series, which is the Morph Gear, which was a lot of fun. You have a magic knight, a ninja, a cowboy, a superhero, a kung fu fighter, a genie dancer, and you even get to climb aboard and suit up in a giant monkey suit in order to explore all the levels, like the backroom areas where you see a lot of like the extra actors, the extra monkeys, to be more exact and can capture them. There's like secret areas that only the Super Monkey Morph Gear suit can discover. When you see like banana scents, there's like these little waves, and then you see like little bananas floating in the air, and then you just knock on the wall and it'll open up the secret area. And in this game, Spectre is trying to like take over the world, which he always tries to do in the Ape Escape games, always trying out different things. And the second game was kind of lame, hence why I'm not really going to be talking much about the second game. It's like my least favorite in the series. And Ape Escape 3 has it where Spectre is using all these like TV shows that he's creating to like hypnotize humanity into just being mindless couch potatoes. So that way they're not aware of what he's really trying to do, and that is to chop the world in half. And I really like the story in Ape Escape 3. I love all the different levels. I love the morph gear. Everything about this I just absolutely love. Even the soundtrack, it's like one of the greatest soundtracks in the series. I think his name is Soichi Terada, who is a Japanese DJ artist, does the music for the Ape Escape series, and he does a standout job. I really love all the different soundtracks, from the Super Monkey theme, the Magic Night theme, to the different songs for the different levels like Mount Amazing, Winterville, the Airplane Squadron. There's a Halloween Town as level, well, a Halloween themed level as well. And just overall, I feel like Ape Escape 3 is one of the greatest platformers. It is pure pink. I have played this game probably more times than any other platformer or any other game that I've ever played, and that's even counting the first Ape Escape game. I've played this at least over 100 times. So you may ask why I truly think that this is peak platforming on the PS2, and that is just due to its infinite replay value. You can try out different gadgets, capture the monkeys different ways, use different morph gear to do the same thing, or to traverse different parts of the levels. There's also 2 different playable characters, each with their own different advantages to capturing the monkeys. With Yumi being a pop star, some of the monkeys will be hypnotized by her as they love her music. And overall, it's just one of those very charming, cute, adorable, very fun, relaxing 3D platformers on the PS2 that still holds up to this day. Now, sadly, it is stuck on the PS2, and you can play it via emulation on PC, or maybe even some like emulator handhelds. But to me, I feel like the best way to play it is definitely on the original hardware, and that is like my go-to answer for if you were to ask me why I feel like the Ape Escape games are so much fun. All of them are highly replayable. There's just, I don't know really what else I could say more that I haven't already said about the Ape Escape series as a whole. Ape Escape 3 will always be my number 1 favorite in the entire franchise. Even all the other like spin-off games that I haven't even played yet, like Million Monkeys and Saru Saru Big Mission, Ape Escape 2001, and even like Ape Escape Pumpkin Prime, which also came out in the West. I haven't played that yet, but I've seen a lot of gameplay for those games, and I still feel like Ape Escape 3 is going to be my number 1 favorite game in the entire series. I love it so much. Even though it's like one of the easiest games that I have ever played, and that's just how highly skilled I am at this game. I played it so many times that I could probably do like a no death run in the entire game, like with barely losing a life. I'd probably gain more lives than I have lost them while playing this game. Just so much fun. Peak 3D platforming on the PS2. There's so many other great 3D platformers on that console, like the Jak and Daxter series, Ratchet and Clank, Rayman, Spyro, Sly Cooper, and the the Tasmanian Tiger series, and so many other amazing 3D platformers on the PS2. But I feel like Ape Escape 3 beats them all, and just pure peak, unadulterated fun. And if you haven't played any of the Ape Escape series, I highly recommend playing Ape Escape 3. Now, you don't really need to play any of the other games to really understand what's going on with this one. All of them have their own separate stories and different playable characters. Now, they are all set in the same universe, as some of the other characters do make an appearance in the third game, and you can play as Spike as an unlockable playable character in the second game, and there are even secret codes that you can find online or somewhere in the game where you can unlock even more monkeys that you can capture on your second playthrough. And yeah, that's pretty much it for what I want to say about Ape Escape that I haven't already said before. It's a really fun 3D platformer. Please just do yourself a favor and play Ape Escape 3 if you haven't. I highly recommend it. I'm a huge fan of the entire Ape Escape series, and I am planning on going for a full set of every single Ape Escape game that was released, and hopefully someday we can finally get that elusive Ape Escape 4 from Sony. I know they've been teasing it for years, and I just really want the series to thrive. I feel like there's a lot of people that are missing out on this series. So with that, I will see you guys in the next video. My name is Mecha Otaku Gamer, signing out.